I was trying to make an invisible virus visible.
It was the early days of the pandemic, and while much of the country was going about their lives, Dr. Deborah Birx says she knew it was only a matter of time until SARS-CoV-2 would upend life as we know it.
We did not ready the country for the tidal wave that was coming.
Soon she became a household name, one of the most visible leaders in her role as President Trump's coronavirus task force coordinator.
Do you remember the first time you spoke to President Trump?
I really only wanted to convey one message, that this is not the flu, because I really felt that that was a significant disservice.
And do you think you were able to convey that?
I made that point, but I'm not sure how that was received.
The AIDS immunologist and 29-year military veteran was by the president's side during those early, crucial days of the pandemic. Some of those moments turned controversial.
I see the disinfectant where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that? By injection inside or almost a cleaning.
I just wanted it to be the Twilight Zone and all go away. It was so off topic, so sensational. I didn't know what to do.
Did it ever cross your mind to stand up and say, let me clarify that?
That would have been the logical an important thing to do. I was paralyzed in that moment because it was so unexpected.
That behind-the-scenes insight is one of many she chronicles in her new book, Silent Invasion, a memoir of her time in Trump's White House.
Did he overall, in your opinion, listen to the physicians and scientists that had both the credentials and the official position to advise him?
I think in those early weeks of March, yes. I'm often criticized for saying that the president understood the data and graphs. He did in that moment, but I think he wanted a different future for the United States, and I think he wanted the virus to go away. And when the doctors group couldn't deliver that for him in the timeline that he wanted, he sought out advice from others.
Birx joined the team in March 2020 and writes that she frequently felt like an outcast.
I was asked to sit outside the Oval while they were discussing, and there's a couch in the hallway. And so I would sit out there in case there was a question that came up before the press briefing, but ordinarily I wouldn't be engaged in the Oval Office discussions before the briefing.
Birx says she felt her gender sometimes played a role inside the White House.
You were often the only woman in the room. How bad was it?
Usually people say to me, you're being too direct, you're being too pushy. They'll often use the B word. And I could hear people in the hallway saying she's overreacting. Because when you go in and there's 3,000 deaths, and you tell the President of the United States that within the next 8 weeks, we're gonna see 100,000 to 240,000 lives lost, that's a very difficult thing to comprehend.
Do you think that those numbers would have been heard differently coming from a man?
Well, certainly, if I go by the briefings, men were listened to differently.
But Birx says she had unexpected allies inside the administration, even as she contradicted what the president was saying.
You talk about the fact that Vice President Pence was always an ally of yours.
I said to him, I just want to be clear. I am saying exactly the opposite of what the president is saying, because the data is telling me that we are going to have a very deadly fall. And he looked at me and he said, you need to do what you need to do.
Trump's son-in-law and senior advisor, Jared Kushner, became another close confidant.
I had only seen him on TV. To me, he looked aloof. So when I got to the White House and realized that he was concerned and helped me get to solutions.
But as she tried to work on those solutions, she grew concerned about safety protocols in the White House. Then in October 2020, the president was hospitalized with COVID. Though she was not part of his personal medical team.
Do you think he was sicker than the American public were led to believe?
The fact that he was moved to Walter Reed told me that this was quite serious.
And that his oxygenation levels had dropped to what number?
Well, Mark Meadows said it was in the 80s.
Which, to be clear, is?
Being in the 80s is incompatible with life for long periods of time.
Birx left the White House after she was replaced by the Biden administration, and now has some criticisms, particularly regarding vaccines.
I do believe that they put too many eggs in the vaccine basket. I think we made the vaccines sound like they created armor and invincibility, and they didn't. With a lot less resources.
And as we enter pandemic year 3, the woman who helped guide the nation at the beginning is looking to the future, using lessons from her past.
When you put your head on your pillow at night, clear conscience or regrets or both?
Both. You can't live life without seeing your own mistakes and failures and not fixing them.
Our thanks to Dr. Jen. Dr. Birx's new book, Silent Invasion, is out tomorrow.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.